Say It Out Loud Sports, episode 113. That's crazy.
Dang.
Wow. So many.
That's a lot.
But we've been off for a while. I know there's a lot of sports right now. Tom Brady unretiring. Russell Wilson, all the
Broncos.
Mitch Trubisky going to Pittsburgh. I'm not going to go on a rant about that yet.
Boy.
I'll save it for, once the tournament's over, because right now it's March Madness. This whole episode, March Madness. We're off to Vegas. But first we got to give our predictions, so it's on the record, so we can't say anything too crazy, or we could be held accountable. I got Bob.
Yo.
And a guest appearance from Stenson.
What's up?
Although
My annual appearance.
your annual appearance, even though Maryland's not in the tournament this year.
I know, so sad.
Right.
It's not the same, but it'll be fun.
It'll be fun. We can root against Duke again, as usual, except they got a horseshit draw with Cal State Fullerton.
I love it, dude.
No, I
I
want
like we said the same thing when
Mercer
beat them.
Yeah.
Never know.
Worst day of my life, by the way.
All right, but before we get in the brackets, though, we're going to play a little game. We're doing a mascot challenge. Team names, not mascot, because, like Bucky the Badger team. These teams are all in the tournament. I want to see if you guys can know, if you know
their mascot or their name?
Their team name.
Okay.
Then we're going to, then people can root for them based on their,
their
team name. All right, St. Peter's. They're playing Kentucky. Does anybody know the St. Pete? I didn't know this one.
I don't know St. Peter's.
The Peacocks.
Yep.
Is it?
St. Peter's Peacocks.
Wow.
I kind of want to bet on them just because of that.
I don't know that one.
All right, Norfolk State. They've been in the tournament a few times.
I know.
This one's a common one, too. Like, there's a lot of teams with this same.
I don't know it.
No idea.
Spartans. All right, UAB.
Isn't it like a dragon that's on fire? Isn't it?
That's what the logo is.
That's what the logo is, right? What is it? The Dragons?
The Blazers.
Blazers.
The UAB Blazers. I had Riot doing Deacon was filling out a bracket last night, and he was going through. He had a pretty good strategy. He's like, I'm going to pick the lowest numbers. And I was like, okay. So he was doing it, and then he would then he started switching it up and going picking higher numbers every now and then. But he said the first time he saw the dragon on fire, he goes, oh, the snakes. And he picked the snakes. And, they're going to the, Elite Eight, I think. He got them all, or the finals. I can't remember who he picked, but he has the snakes going far.
Yeah.
All right, Longwood.
No chance. Couldn't even tell you where they're located.
The Lancers.
Longwood, dude.
Where's that at?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, Lancers.
Lancers?
This one, I feel like we should have known this one because I know we bet on them last year. Colgate.
Crest toothpaste.
That's the rival. That'd be the rival.
That's their senior night rivalry game.
The Smiles.
The Raiders.
The Raiders.
That's a terrible. They need to change that.
I don't know. I don't think
Colgate
they're gonna,
Raiders.
I don't think changing their name is going to help them.
It's still a terrible name. They keep getting in the tournament though. All right, Chattanooga. The Mocs.
The Mocs?
I don't know what a mock is. It's the Mocs.
Johnny Mocs from Varsity Blues.
Just the Mocs, dude.
That's their mascot.
All right, this one you should. I think this is the only one that I was like they might. Seton Hall.
Pirates.
Yeah. I was like, that's the only big name school that was kind of off the radar.
Yeah.
So if you want to root for the Peacocks or the Snakes or the Blazers or the Lancers.
The Peacocks.
Peacocks?
Sounds good.
Peacocks.
All right. Kind of fun little exercise. I want to know if a lot of people knew. I guarantee nobody knew the Peacocks.
No.
Well, you said Peacocks.
Longwood?
Right?
Nobody knows who Longwood is.
The Longwood Lancers?
Unless they attended that school.
The Longwood Trey Lancers?
What was Vermont?
The Catamounts.
The Catamounts.
We were saying catamarans?
Yeah.
Catamarans. They're boats.
Yeah. All right. So we've been assigned, obviously, we only have 3, so we're going to all talk about the South, but we're going to go favorite bet from each bracket, player to watch, upset, like the sleeper of the bracket that you think can make a run. We'll give you our final 4 predictions, and then I think I said favorite bet already. So let's start in the Midwest. So that's my bracket. Favorite bet. I got 2 of them.
Okay.
So the first one I'm going with, favorite game to watch. That's what we'll start with. So the favorite game to watch in each bracket.
Okay.
My brackets, I don't really think there's a ton of good games, but I'm going LSU and Iowa State because I don't know what the hell is going to go on here. Both teams started 12-0 this year. They're both ranked, I think 8 was the highest for Iowa State. LSU got up to 12, but they started 12-0, both teams. LSU suffered its first loss to Auburn, but bounced back. They beat Kentucky the next game, and then they beat Tennessee right after that. So they've beaten really good teams, but obviously they struggled after that. The last 7 are 3-4, and they had to fire their coach for allegations. They fired him last week, so that's going to be a thing going in the tournament that people are looking at. Iowa State, same thing. They 12-0. They lost to Baylor. They beat Texas Tech, lost to Kansas by 1. They were in the top 10. But down the stretch, in their last 11, they went 4-7. So the inconsistencies are here. Both teams are pretty good defensively. Both teams have their flaws. Defense is probably both teams' strong suits. I just like LSU's size.
They're big.
Terry Eason, Days, and Reed down low. I think they're going to be able to get on the glass. But I think that game's going to be interesting just because they're so inconsistent. So which team's going to show up? Some people don't like defensive battles. But if it's a close game, the end's always good. The other one, I only had one of that. So let's go over to Stenson. What do you got in yours?
So I got the
East.
East. So I got Murray State and San Francisco for the game to watch. So I thought I don't like when the committee puts like two mid-majors against each other in the first round, especially two that I thought could go deep. But I like that game. Murray State, 30-2. And then we were surprised the other day to find out that the spread was San Francisco -1.
Yeah.
I
It
thought Murray
flipped
State
now.
for
It's
sure.
one, and now it's flipped the other way. I think it's going to go back and forth.
I figured everybody's going to bet Murray State. But the style of play, like Murray State was just athletic and runs, shoots a lot of threes, and then San Francisco is kind of more size, slower pace. So I got that as my game.
Yeah, that game. I was kind of mad that we're matched up because last week we were talking about betting on the Don Juans because that's a cool name, San Francisco Dons. Did you know
Dons?
that?
Yeah, I've heard of that one. Yeah.
So I wanted to Murray State is a team I really liked, but I also wanted to bet on the Dons. So now I'm conflicted. So, but at least one of them will move on. Who do they get? The winner of that gets who? Kentucky or the Peacocks?
That's why I liked the Dons to move on, but I feel like it's just a bad matchup against neither of them I don't think will get past Kentucky, but at least the first round it should be a good game.
Well, you got this Murray State is in Kentucky, I think, right? I'm pretty sure that's like a smaller school in Kentucky, so that's a cool matchup. Or we can wonder if we get the Dons and the Peacocks in the second round on Saturday night. That'd be legit.
Oh yeah.
All right, what do you got in the West, Bob?
The West. So my game to watch in the West is actually going to be Alabama, and I think Notre Dame gets it done against Rutgers in the play-in game. So it's going to be Alabama and Notre Dame. Both have first-round picks going into the draft, and Notre Dame has a top 10 guy. I think it's a good game to watch. Two big schools.
Alabama's always fun to watch.
Yeah, Alabama's fun. And Notre Dame always seems to somehow get to the Sweet 16. So I think that's the game to watch.
And then in the South, we'll just run through them real quick. Yeah, Arizona. If Bryant wins the play-in game, that's my game to watch because Peter Kiss is going to be playing against Arizona, and he's a nation's leading scorer. He does push-ups and flexes on everybody, so that's fun. Seeing all TCU be boring, I feel like. I like UAB in Houston.
I would pick that as a game to watch.
Is that your upset, UAB?
I love
12-5?
I love UAB. I don't like the matchup necessarily, but I still think I'm going to roll with them. I was looking into them a little bit. Their guard, they got Quan Jackson and
The Blazers, is that what they are?
Yeah, and the Snakes.
The Snakes.
AKA the Snakes. But Jordan Walker, Houston's defense, Houston just struggles to shoot from the outside, and I think UAB's defense is pretty good. They got that big guy down low.
7
What's that guy's name? I think I wrote it down here.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good game. I'd pick that.
Where did I put that?
Loyola Chicago's back in, huh?
That's a good game as well.
There's them.
Ohio State.
Oh,
State,
this,
Loyola, Chicago.
this thing, dude. Okay.
That's going to be a good game.
We'll get to that because that's okay. Let's go favorite bet. Favorite bet in your bracket. So the Midwest. Favorite bet or two, I have two. The first one, I'm going Providence.
You love them.
I just don't buy. Everybody's on the South Dakota State train. Obviously, they shoot lights out. They score 85 points a game, but no one's guarding them. They're playing,
Coso?
Syracuse, whatever, Antelope Valley,
really good
all these small schools. They did score a bunch. I mean, they played Alabama. They lost 104-88. So they put up a bunch of points against Alabama, but they don't have necessarily the best defense. They probably were just like, let's run these guys out of the gym. But they shot poorly in that game. They just had so many possessions because Alabama plays fast too.
Yeah, it's all transition.
So I don't think Providence is just going to try to play a run and gun game with them because that's not a great recipe if you're playing a small team. And Providence has size. Nate Watson down low, Noah Horchler. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but both those guys are senior big, 6'8" and 6'10". Jared Bynum, they got a junior point guard, and the two wings are both seniors. So these guys have been together a long time. Ed Cooley's the coach of the year in the Big East. They won the Big East title, not Villanova. Everybody's going to remember that they just got their doors blown off by Creighton.
Oh, yeah, they did.
But 2 weeks prior, they blew Creighton out by 21. So they just had an off night. I think they were outscored 30-2 at a stretch in the game.
Ouch.
So they went ice cold.
Coming back from that.
So, I mean, I just think the fact that everybody's on the Jackrabbits, along with the size of Providence and the experience. I like the senior-laden teams that have been there, been through it together, and they can grow together and know what they're doing. So I'll take Providence. I think they win by like 5 or 10. And then the other one is Auburn minus whatever. Jacksonville State isn't even supposed to be in this stupid tournament. That Bellarmine won their tournament, and they're not eligible, which is the dumbest rule ever anyway.
Why are they, what?
Because they're in a transition period, so they became D1 like 2 years ago. But you have to wait 4 years
To be tournament eligible?
Tournament eligible.
And so every
Bellarmine-
player moving over can't play, basically?
Bellarmine won the conference tournament, but because they were ineligible, it goes to the regular season champion. So
Instead of the runner-up?
Yeah, Jacksonville State lost to Bellarmine in the semifinals, and then regular Jacksonville, lost to Bellarmine, but the bid goes to the regular season. So it was just dumb how they got there. And Auburn, everybody thinks they are struggling, but they're struggling against SEC teams. They're going to come out, they play good defense, and they don't foul you, so Jacksonville State's not going to get any easy free throw opportunities, and I think Auburn's
What's the line, like 21?
15.5 or 17, somewhere in there. It's not 20 yet.
It's crazy they got a 15 and they're not in the playing game after having didn't even win their
like
in a
I feel
small
like
conference
Bryant
and didn't even win their tournament.
I thought Bryant was going to be like a 15,
Right.
and that team would be in there, but it is what it is. So I'm taking
Sorry, we
Auburn.
get an extra game by Peter Kiss
Yeah.
to watch.
Yeah, I'm taking Auburn minus whatever in that bracket. So, all right, what do you got, Stenson, in your side?
All right, I got my first bet is Akron plus 16.
I love it.
So everybody's on UCLA since they had their deep
Yep.
run last year, but they were winning close games like throughout the tournament last year. Akron has 10. They're deep. They have 10 different guys that play 10 or more minutes on the team, and then they have 4 guys on the team that average double figures. So it's not like UCLA can key on one guy. They have shooters. They've got earlier this year they played Ohio State, lost by 1 to Ohio State.
Oh, I didn't even see that one.
The spread is 16, and they've only lost all season long. They've only lost 1 game by more than 12.
I like that.
Just tight games.
Yeah, so
Play close games.
Yeah, and like I said, I think UCLA has like a little bit of a letdown maybe after that hot run last year. So that's my first, and then second game is I like Kentucky minus 17. So I feel like the Peacocks are
going down.
Yeah, so
Clipping the wings of the
St.
bird
Peter's
that can't fly.
had 2 guys. They only have 2 guys that average double figures, and they average 10 points and 11 points. So they don't score a lot. They average like 62 points a game. Yeah, they're small. Their power forward and center are both 6'7", and Kentucky has
Shibwe getting 30 and 30
at like
every
6'10", and then they have Jacob Toppin down low, 6'9". So I think like inside Kentucky's going to dominate, and I think they have the athletes to guard St. Peter's on the outside, and then they have like Ty Washington's like a lottery pick into Shibwe. So I just feel like it's going to be like a 30-point game.
So Kentucky, Auburn, those are the 2 blowouts, and then the other 2 might be tight. But touching on the UCLA, I was looking at even though it wasn't my bracket, I was looking at that UCLA game because, like you said, everyone's going to be on UCLA because of last year,
Right.
and they have
how deep
everybody
they went.
back. They have everybody back. Tyler Campbell, Juzang,
It's not the same
Jaime,
team, though. They don't even play this
Jaquez, Cody Riley. It's basically Singleton. I think it's like exactly the same, but their pace, they play at a really slow pace compared to what people perceive them as, because at the beginning of the year they played fast, but once they got into tournament or like conference play, they slowed it down a lot and started playing better defense. So another bet I like on that is the under. It's like 120.5. Akron plays at like the 315th pace in the nation. They slow it down, and I think they defend well too. Like Castaneda, their point guard, that guy's big. He defends well. So I think that game, I like the points in the under in that as well. And I might even sprinkle it on the money line because that Castaneda guy got hot the other day, and that dude would not miss. And I was like, that's if you have a guard like that.
When he starts making it.
Yeah, I don't know if money lines are out yet, but it should be pretty good.
I think it was like 950.
Nice.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's not too many big ones this year that I've noticed. But anyway, so yeah, I like that. I like both those. All right, Bob, what do you got?
My favorite bet for the West region is UConn. They're 7-point favorites, and they got 2 great guards. They have a big guy that rebounds everything, and they're playing a New Mexico State team that is not. They won the conference, but they're not good. They're coming in and run into a UConn team that I think is super underrated. UConn's a top 20 team all year. New Mexico State's probably going to have a long day there.
You don't like Sir Jabari Rice?
No.
On New Mexico State?
No. New Mexico State's not good at all.
I do like the guards, R.J. Cole and Martin.
Yeah, they're good.
And Sonogo.
Yeah.
They have 12 rebounds a game.
They got 3 dudes average over 15 a game.
I haven't even watched them. I feel like all the mid-tier teams in the Power 5 conferences
are dangerous.
I never watched, though.
They're good.
Like
There's
the
some dangerous
LSU's, the Iowa State. Like, a lot
I
of those
didn't
teams,
think, I'm surprised. Iowa State,
Like
I was
Marquette?
shocked. I didn't know they were in the
like,
tournament.
They were 9. See,
Yeah, I was
I
shocked.
haven't heard of that.
I didn't think they were getting there.
Yeah.
But
All right, so UConn.
Yeah, UConn, and then my the other game I like is, where'd it go? Oh, Alabama, Notre Dame. I don't know who's going to be favored in that game, but I think that game is going to be a fun one to bet. And in that game, I'd probably take the unders. That's where I'd go because both of them play great defense.
Yeah, Bama's so up and down. They're just inconsistent.
But they play great defense.
Yeah.
They're just
so
athletic.
if they're on, though, they can score so many
last year
points.
They shot like 80%
Against Maryland?
and
That
scored
game
like
was
100.
crazy.
Then the next game, they just went cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Those
right.
are 2 games I like.
All right, and then the South, my favorite. This is my lock of the tournament. The first weekend.
Okay.
I'll start off with that. Ohio State.
I like that.
Is there like a +1?
I feel
Plus
like
one
it's the
minus
same as
Loyola?
UCLA. Everybody's betting Loyola
Sister,
Chicago.
because
Is
of a
Sister Jean
person that
coming
doesn't
in?
even play on the team.
Sister Jean's there, though.
No, I get it, but Cameron Krutwig is not there anymore, and that was the big force behind their run. That dude had post moves for days. I swear
Maybe
he was
Sister
55.
Jean suits up, Pat.
That
You
was
don't
probably
know.
Sister Jean's like great grandkid.
Sister Jean might have a year of eligibility left. You don't know.
I'm
They're
just
not
saying.
the same. Yeah, they were like 4th in their conference or something.
Yeah, they won their conference tournament. No disrespect to Sister Jean, but Cameron Krutwig's gone. EJ Liddell is on Ohio State. Dude's a monster inside.
Plus
Grantham,
Ohio State +2.
yeah, +2. They have a bad taste in their mouth from everybody's going to remember them getting burned on Ohio State last year because of Oral Roberts beat them in the first round. So it's like the tournament's darling, plus people hate Ohio State. They either hate them because they're in the Big Ten or because they lost a shit ton of money on them last year.
Yeah.
And it's they're underdog against Loyola Chicago.
I don't know. Loyola Chicago's a good tournament team, dude.
Okay, Ohio State's beaten numerous teams in the field. They're in the Big Ten. Loyola Chicago has played 3. They lost to Michigan State. They lost to Auburn. Obviously, you expect that. And they beat San Francisco, the Dons, by 5. That's the only teams in the field they've played. They're going to get – I wouldn't be shocked if Ohio State blew them out. But the only thing against that is Loyola Chicago plays so damn slow that they probably won't be able to win by more
than
than –
get big leads against teams.
they're not going to lose by 20. But I feel like the talent on Ohio State and the sour taste in their mouth is just going to be a bad day for Loyola. So that's my lock of the first 2 days. I think it's the first game on Saturday. What day is that? Yeah, first 9:15 in the morning on Friday. First game of the day on Friday. I'm kicking Friday off with a bang.
Yep.
And that's the only bet I had for that bracket that I had time to go through. Did you guys check it out?
I was the same. That was my favorite game. I kind of like Delaware with the points, but Villanova's always plays so smart and fundamental. It's kind of hard to bet against them, but I do like Delaware.
Yeah, I like UAB. That's kind of my sleeper pick, but we'll get to those. Tennessee, Ohio State's definitely my favorite, though. All right, let's go back to, so we got the favorite game to watch, favorite bets. All right, player to watch. I'll start. I'll start in the Midwest. I think I had, Jabari Smith obviously is like, everybody knows him.
Right.
Number 1 pick in the draft. I think he should be. Terry Eason from LSU is fun, but Keegan Murray is the guy. I mean, obviously I think he's less well known, but he's putting up numbers. He's averaging 23 and 8 on the year. Iowa is probably one of the hottest. They are one of the hottest teams in college basketball. They just won the Big Ten. I just think, and the 5 seed, I think it's too low for how well they were playing. I think they should have been probably a 4 over. Everybody's ripping Providence, but they have Iowa 5, Providence 4. Why not?
Right.
The bracket. I mean, the committee put
Auburn was number 1 in the nation at some point.
They were number 1 for like a lot of the. Where'd you get Auburn from?
Never mind.
Iowa.
I was looking at Jabari Smith.
Oh, no. So, I think Murray had 32 against Indiana a couple days ago. I think he's just going to carry that team through the first 2 rounds. I don't think any of the 2 teams are beating them, so I'll go there. Jabari Smith, obviously, you have to watch him. He's a must-watch, but who you got?
So I got East. I have Jaden Ivey. So I feel like I think he's projected number 3 overall to the NBA right now, and I think he fits in well. Like the scheme for Purdue is all about the big, so he kind of like it's not even about him, but he still gets his numbers. And I feel like in the tournament, it's always about guards taking over. So
he has that John Morant feel.
yeah,
Like he's that talented, but he plays within himself.
right. So yeah, I just think the tournament sets up well for him, and he can reading through it, he can like boost his draft stock even more with a good tournament. So I got Ivy.
You got Bob.
All right. In the West, I couldn't narrow it down to one player.
There's like 10 of them.
So it just in the top 5 projected NBA picks, 3 of them are in the bracket.
Yeah.
Two from Duke, 1 from Gonzaga. There's like 6 in the top 10. So it's just the whole the bracket's full. You have Chet Holmgren, AJ Griffin, Banchero, Blake Wesley. Like there's just too many players. I think this is going to be a fun bracket. These games are going to be fun to watch. There's going to be lots of highlights going on.
The one guy I've thought of just outside of those guys was a transfer from Murray State last year. Or not Murray State, transfer from Oral Roberts. He's on Texas Tech. O'Banner?
Oh, yeah.
He transferred. He's on Tech. I thought he had a
Jalen
monster.
Durant from Memphis is in there.
Yeah.
He's just filthy.
Watch Ryan Davis too. That's my guy from
Yeah.
Vermont.
The Catamounts.
He's a 2-time player of the year in the conference, so I think he'll show out.
Yeah, the whole West region is stacked full of NBA
Well,
talent.
and you got your guys in UConn. You mentioned R.J. Cole.
Oh, yeah.
And,
those guys are good. The guards.
yeah, the guards and Sonogo. That fool's going to get 20 rebounds.
Yeah, it's going to be. There's a lot of players in the West to watch. I couldn't narrow them to one, but
In the
there's some wild games.
So I'll go to the South. I put Andre Curbelo, aka Timo Cruz, from Coach
Timo
Carter.
Cruz,
He's back.
Yeah.
That fool. So I watched him the other day, and he missed time. He missed time in the season. He had a concussion, and he was out for a while. And I think when he's on the floor, he does all the little things. Like the passes he makes are ridiculous. Like if you go back and watch some of his highlights, he did this wraparound pass the other day. I was like, I want to watch him all day. So I like Curbelo on Ohio State. Malachi Smith, I think he's on Chattanooga. He's playing again. That'll be a good game to watch. I think Chattanooga and Illinois. Malachi Smith's good.
I feel like Colin Gillespie, those little guards like that, every tournament, there's one that like
Just goes off.
goes crazy all tournament. Yeah.
Like Fred VanVleet did.
Jordan Walker's in the South. We talked about him.
Oh, yeah.
Had 40 in the semifinals of the conference tournament.
And Kadari Richmond on Seton Hall. Do you remember him from Syracuse?
And he transferred?
He's the dude that Boeheim was like wouldn't play him over the 3 white shooting guards, and he's the most athletic guy on the team, and he transferred to Seton Hall.
I don't know. He's still
Nasty. He's on Seton Hall. Yeah, he's like the 3rd leading scorer. The game I watched him, he had like 40 though. I was like, oh, why? No one. I don't know why he didn't play.
Benedict Mathurin on Arizona.
I love
like
that.
a highlight reel. I feel like maybe we'll get a poster or something.
Oh yeah,
between him against Bryant.
Him and Peter Kiss. That's the number 1 draw.
That should
Hopefully, he
be a good
gets through
matchup.
through the team. All right, sleeper team in each bracket. A team you think, obviously, you don't think they're going to win it all, but who could get through maybe to the second weekend. So in the Midwest, I got Colgate. I think if any of the double-digit seeds in this bracket gets through the first weekend, it's got to be Colgate. They obviously have a tough matchup in Wisconsin, but I don't trust LSU or Iowa State to just come in and play fundamental, because the Colgate's so fundamental. Like if you're turning the ball over like LSU,
Right.
Colgate will take massive advantage of that. Same with Wisconsin. So I think whoever wins out of Colgate, Wisconsin gets by the LSU Iowa State matchup. But again, they have the fundamental, great passing team. They have balanced scoring. I think all 5 of their starters scoring double figures.
They've won 19 out of 20.
Since they started off terrible,
Yeah.
but they've won 19 out of 20. So you could make the same argument. They beat Syracuse by 15 back in early in the season. They think they're second in the nation in 3-point shooting, and we watched them after the bracket was out, and they passed like wizards.
Yeah.
Shoot. Yeah, they have upperclassmen that played in the tournament last year. Nelly Cummings, Jack Ferguson can shoot, Keegan Records, and who's the guy? Jordan Woodward.
Woodward, yeah.
They're 6'10" and
Size.
6'11". They get rebounds, so I think they can. If they can slow down Johnny Davis on Wisconsin, I think they have a chance to beat Wisconsin, and then, like I said, go on and beat. But I don't see any other team in that. Any other double-digit team going on. I don't think San Diego State or Creighton. They're 8-9. I don't think they're beating Kansas. Richmond, I think, is going to get blown out by Iowa. I guess South Dakota State, everybody loves them. So, that's the other one
Everybody
if they
loves
get by
South Dakota
Providence. but I don't see like Miami or Jacksonville State. So I'll go Colgate to get through to the Sweet 16 in that. Who you got, Stinson?
All right, so touch on it a little bit, but I'm going to go Akron.
Okay.
Obviously, a big underdog against UCLA, but I feel like they have a chance in that game. And then if they do get past them, they get the winner of St. Mary's and either Wyoming or Indiana. So it's not like they're going up against a 1, 2, or 3 seed if they get by UCLA. So I like Akron. I definitely don't think they're going to win it all or anything, but a chance to get to the Sweet 16.
Are you buying the hype on this? Is the other team I want to talk about real quick. Are you buying Virginia Tech?
No.
I just think they're hot right
Yeah.
now, so sometimes that helps. Like if you're going to the tournament playing good basketball, that carries over. But
Yeah, I think that's another one of my favorite bets is Texas. But Texas lets me down every year. But I just the same thing. Virginia Tech's hot. They remember what they just watched, and Virginia Tech just went through the ACC tournament, blew out Duke. They're making everything. And Texas,
they're making all their shots.
and then the flip side, Texas had a 20-point lead on TCU and blew it
And lost.
early. But so they should be rested. But I feel like their Texas defenses. I don't know.
This is their first year too with Chris Beard, right?
Yeah, and
As
he's
coach, he's like a pretty proven coach in the tournament.
Yeah,
He was Texas Tech, right?
That's
When
not bad.
didn't he just
took
take
Texas Tech
to the Final Four?
Yeah, no.
They went deep a couple years.
Before that, though, we got them to like the Elite Eight.
Yeah, they were making runs.
What was
so,
the spread on that one? Texas,
Virginia Tech, I think,
Tech.
was Texas is 1.5 right now.
Okay, I'll probably
So
move.
I kind of like Texas. I think all the people on TV I was watching were like Virginia Tech. This
Right.
is the hot team. You need 3-point shooting, but I just think Texas defense and their size down low is going to be. And like I said, I watched that Duke game and they were making the craziest shot. I'm like, how are these?
They didn't
guys?
miss.
Yeah, it was nuts.
They blew them out, but they didn't miss either. But in the West, none of the double-digit teams in the West, I don't really think have a chance to move on. I think it's pretty flat out. But my sleeper team is UConn out of there. UConn would if they win the first weekend, they're going to get the winner of Arkansas, Vermont. UConn's better than both of those teams, and then they would move on and play. They would have to probably play Gonzaga then, and we all know how good Gonzaga is. But Gonzaga does the same thing every year in the tournament, and they lose. So UConn's I think UConn could probably get to the Sweet 16, and then they'd run into probably Gonzaga and have to win that game. But that's my sleeper for the bracket.
All right, then you go to the South. I was looking at, obviously, like I mentioned, I like UAB, but even if they beat UAB, I think Illinois probably is too much for them.
What about Seton Hall?
No, they're not. We'll get to Arizona. I think we'll get to my Final Four prediction, but I think the sleeper kind of going the same route you did. I think Ohio State's the sleeper at a 7. I think they're a little low, and I think they have a good matchup the first round. And then I think if they get Villanova, I think Ohio State could beat Villanova and move on.
I was gonna say Michigan as well as an 11.
Yeah, with Dickinson and
As long as you have him, you have a chance to beat anybody. And they've played good teams all year, so that if they win, they'd have Tennessee next, which is definitely doable. So.
yeah, I actually have Ohio State going all the way to the Elite Eight. I think they can get through Nova, and then they run into either Tennessee or Michigan, and I think they could win that game. But
Nobody's talking about Villanova. That's scary.
They kind of fly under the radar, but they do good in the
always good in the tourney. Nobody's talking about them. I feel like they're just going to walk to the
yeah,
Sweet
Jay
16.
Wright's a really good coach, and they're always
Nobody's
dangerous.
talking about them.
I hate him. That's why.
I know.
That one team they had, I liked them a
With
lot.
Chris Wright or whatever his name was.
Chris Jenkins,
Chris Jenkins
game winner.
and Archie.
and Brunson. That team was the best team I think I've ever.
Archie.
They won
college
every
team.
game by like 20.
They had
They hit the game winner in the national title game.
Who was
Chris
the other
Jenkins
big
had the
guy
game
they had?
winner.
DiVincenzo.
Archie Diacono.
forgot about him.
DiVincenzo came off the bench and dropped like 30.
Yeah,
Remember,
and
it was Archie Diacono was the one. He was the
he
point
was on
guard.
there. No, Brunson was the point guard. Diacono was there still.
Bridges.
Mikael Bridges.
That's right. They were deep.
Spellman, but they had another big guy too. He's on the Warriors.
Yeah, I know who he just got traded.
Pascal,
but
Eric Pascal.
Pascal.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys, that team was like 8 deep, and they're so nasty.
There were like 10 NBA
Jenkins hit the
players
game
on
winner in the national title game.
Yeah. So, all right, Final Four predictions. So, or give me your Elite Eight prediction in your bracket. So Midwest, I have. I'm going kind of chalk. Obviously, I'm going chalky in mine, and I'm going Kansas and Auburn, and I have Auburn going Final Four.
All right, I got so I have Purdue and Baylor for my 2, with Purdue winning. Purdue in the Final Four.
Okay.
So in the Final Four, I have
In the West. No, in the Elite Eight in the West. In your bracket.
my 4 in the Elite in the West.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I got to go back to the other bracket.
We already know Duke.
Come on. Now,
Do you have
come on.
Duke winning it all?
Yes.
No.
I guess we could just do our Final Four picks instead of each bracket. Who do you got? So you got Purdue in the Final Four. Who's you got the other? Did you pick the other 2? Other 3?
Yeah, so I have Purdue, Kansas, and Arizona, and I got Vermont.
The Catamounts going all the way. Ryan Davis and the
13 seed.
Catamounts.
Ryan Davis.
Okay. So I did. Mine's pretty chalky. I have Texas Tech coming out of the top. So I have Arizona, Auburn, Texas Tech, and Kentucky. Then I have Kentucky and Arizona playing the title game, and I have Arizona winning.
Nice. So I have Kansas, Nova, Kentucky, and Duke in the Final Four. And I have Kentucky winning it all.
Yeah, Kentucky winning it all.
Yeah.
I got Purdue winning it all.
I like Purdue. That was. I feel like this year's wide open. There's going to be some weird games. That's why I like the Akron pick, because I don't think anybody's picking that game.
Yeah,
UCLA could get bounced earlier. I think Baylor could get bounced early. I think they have a bad. I think North Carolina matches up with them pretty well because they're going to run, and that should be a second round matchup. That's another bet I love too.
1 seed to get second round, North Carolina or
What 1 seed has the most likely upset in the first round?
The first round, no.
Yeah, out of the 4, which has the best potential to lose? Is it Zaga?
Arizona to Bryant.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Or is it Kansas?
It's no. It has to be. I was hoping Bryant would not be Arizona. That's the only team I didn't want him to play as a
So
one
do you
seed.
think it's Arizona over?
I think it's got to be. Yeah, out of those teams, I feel like Bryant's the best team. They have
best
2 good
16?
guards and a big guy.
They're
That's
the
the
best
recipe.
16 seed?
Yeah, but Arizona, I think Arizona's the best 1 seed.
Their
Even though
2
obviously-
guards, just their guards average 45.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they have a big guy down low. That's crazy. Yeah. So that's the recipe to beat the 1 seed. And to play slow, I think they do play slow, and they rebound. I think they're a top 5 rebounding team. But obviously that's in their own conference. But I think their big guys rebound. What's the only 1 seed that lost was Virginia to Maryland, Baltimore County, right?
There's been some close ones though, but yeah, that's the only one that's actually won.
So I don't think any of them are real danger. But last year we had a 2-15 upset.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's going to look like. Cal State Fullerton, I don't think is. I haven't watched them. I'm going to go watch them. But the Peacocks, I don't think are beating Kentucky. I don't think Auburn's losing. So who's the most likely 2 seed? Duke?
No, we're not. They're not losing to Cal State It's Cal State Fullerton.
Nova and Delaware.
I like Delaware.
The fighting Blue Hens.
The fighting Blue Hens,
That's
baby.
the most likely 2 seed to go down.
Yeah, I like Delaware.
Oh man, I don't know. St. Peter's over Kentucky? No, I got Kentucky winning it all.
I'm excited for the Wright State Bryant game. I've never been looking forward to a playing game, but that game should be sick.
I think Indiana could be a nice team.
Right.
They play too slow.
Yeah, but they play good defense. They got their big guy, Race Thompson dude, and
if they win the
Jackson
play,
Davis.
and they got St. Mary's first round.
And then they'd get like UCLA or Akron. I think they could be this one. There's always a playing team that gets to the second weekend every single year. UCLA got there
Usually it's Syracuse.
Well,
Seems like
UCLA
3
got
years in a
deeper than
row,
that. Didn't
Syracuse
UCLA get to the Final Four?
last year. They were
That's
playing
a playing
They
game,
were
right?
playing last
11
year.
seed or something like that?
Yeah.
I feel like every year Syracuse is on the bubble and barely gets in, and then they go.
That's what I was hoping when they're playing. I was hoping
It's always
they'd beat
head
Duke
coaches, dude. It's always the same head coaches. Seems like. It's always like Boeheim, Coach K, Izzo. You know what I mean? All these guys, and when Pitino was at Louisville, they were in the Final Four every year.
Yeah. Oh, that was the other game you liked. Was speaking of Izzo, you liked Michigan
State.
State.
Yeah,
right?
I
I'm
watched-
surprised you didn't bring them up.
Yeah, they're in the other bracket. Davidson.
Davidson.
I'm surprised they even got in because Richmond. I just watched the Richmond Davidson game that day. And
Richmond got in, too.
Richmond won the tournament. They
Right.
beat as a 6 seed in their tournament and beat Davidson. And I was like, oh, that sucks for Davidson. They're not going to get in. And then they were a 10 seed.
How are they a 10? And
That's what I'm saying. Michigan State is favored by a couple. And I was
wild.
like, I know they shoot well but Michigan. And I'm going to be betting Michigan State, but they're really inconsistent.
are you going to bet Michigan, too?
Yeah, I have to. So I have my hate pick I usually bet against Wisconsin. Basically, the whole Big Ten I hate.
Boring teams.
Wisconsin, Michigan, but I end up losing money on those teams every year. So I was like, all right,
You're gonna go opposite.
I'm not betting on. No, I'm going to pick one. I'm still betting against Wisconsin because I like Colgate a lot. So I'm going to bet Colgate, but I'm going to bet on Michigan. I think because I don't buy Colorado State.
Michigan's
I think that whole
game
conference,
too, right?
All the
yeah,
Ohio
it's like
State, Michigan State, and Michigan.
Yeah,
Big Ten.
and
The
Wisconsin.
low seed.
But I think I'm going to fade the Mountain West. I don't like so Boise State. They play Memphis. I think I'm going to take Memphis.
Portland.
No,
Portland's not in the Mountain
no.
West.
Boise State, Wyoming.
Oh yeah,
They're going to lose to Indiana.
Colorado State.
And then San Diego State's the only team that I think is pretty good. But Creighton could beat them too. That's a tough game, San Diego State and Creighton. But we're going to be with Zach. He's a San Diego State fan, so I'll probably just bet on him just for fun.
I feel like there's some good matchups.
Providence, South Dakota State. I think that game's gonna be good for some reason.
I think it's going to be a close game. I'll be sweating.
Pat. That's a 12:40 game too. So Pat will just be catching a bus. It's gonna be a wild one.
Another sleeper team.
It's gonna be a wild one.
Is what I'm looking at now is like Memphis. They've been hot. They have a couple NBA guys on their team. They
Yeah, I
started
like
out
them.
horrible.
Yeah.
And they've been on fire, and they're a 9.
Yeah, they beat Houston twice in the past. Well, they lost
I
in the
feel like
title
they
game.
could definitely, if they get past Boise, they could definitely
beat Gonzaga. That's why I have beating Gonzaga in the second round.
Yeah.
Second round, Gonzaga goes down.
I have them losing to Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis.
Oh, we can even talk about that because we're not going. We'll be back next week, but we'll already have passed the second round.
Yeah.
So, like bracket wise, I got some crazy. I mean, mine's not too bad, too crazy. I would say. Let me pull it up. I'm trying to. Yeah, so I have Memphis beating Gonzaga, and then I have Memphis UConn playing in the Texas Tech, Duke, Baylor, UCLA, Purdue, Kentucky. I have kind of a lot of chalk, I guess. I have Colgate beating. So I have Colgate going to the Sweet 16.
They could definitely beat Wisconsin.
Beating Wisconsin and then beating LSU. They're going to lose.
Those are two winnable
They'll lose
games.
to Auburn in the.
Or do they beat Auburn? That's you Colgate to the Final Four.
I'll freak out. The jersey curse
Oh yeah.
could be real. I wonder if Auburn loses to Jacksonville State.
I was hoping.
That
I was hoping
confirms.
Grand Canyon got in because I got a few of those at the house.
Yeah.
I was gonna back them. Now I got to leave them in the
Got
closet.
drunk one night and ordered
Oh,
like 10 Grand
geez.
Canyon jerseys for no reason.
Yeah. Well, we had
Well,
them.
we thought they were in the tournament.
They were.
No, they weren't. Remember, we had to
Well,
sweat
they
out like
got
3
in.
more games.
Yeah, but they got in. I
We
can't
ordered
remember
them. They
that
were-
dude's name.
Ashbourne
Midburn
something.
or-
Yeah,
Midgard.
Ashbourne Midgard.
Is he still there?
He's
No.
in the NBA. I saw
No.
him on an NBA team. Yeah.
Oh
He
wow.
is. He made a team.
He's like 7 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a beast. They covered. Is what it
Yeah,
is.
they covered.
did cover. But all right, well, I think that's it. You got anything else on the bracket?
Not on the bracket. No.
Oh, you want to go into the other stuff?
We can talk. Want to talk for this wild offseason of football?
I was trying to save it for football.
save it?
I'll save my Trubisky rant. We could talk about something else. Tom Brady unretiring on Selection Sunday. I'm like, come here.
I like
He
it.
knew what he was doing.
I love it.
The best day of the year. It was already the best day of the year.
He threw Portnoy into a freaking tailspin. He didn't know to root for
Was
Michigan
this-
or hate him.
Was his press? Is
Oh, he did emergency press
I didn't
release when
watch
he
it. Was it
unretired.
good?
He said next time you decide to retire, then give Robert Kraft a thank you because he didn't say anything about the Patriots when he retired. He was all mad. He's like, but I still hope you never win again. That's what he said about Brady. He's like, you're the enemy.
You see his stat? He's won in the last 10 years.
Every other year he's won.
He's won the Super Bowl every other year for the last 9
this
years.
year is going to be nuts. Like Denver got Russell. What's crazy is though, Denver's acting like.
Denver's defense.
Well, no,
will be
Russell
good.
Wilson's fans are acting like he just upgraded. Like
I think he
just-
downgraded. I think he gets worse.
Sutton and Judy are good.
They're not as good as Metcalf and Lockett.
Yeah, but the thing is with Denver, they're going to let him open up the offense more. Seattle was like limiting what he was able to do.
That's why him and P didn't.
That's why they're like,
couldn't
I want
go
out.
He wanted to go out and sling the ball.
And now he's got Javonte Williams in the backfield. I feel like he's going to have a monster year. But in that division, though, the Chargers just got Khalil Mack.
So let's talk about the Chargers. They got Khalil Mack. They got J.C. Jackson. They have Bosa. They have Derwin James. They get Mike Williams back. They have an absolute franchise quarterback. Like this team is
The AFC is crazy, especially that division.
that division's
Lights up.
wild.
If Deshaun Watson ends up going to Cleveland,
Right.
The NFC is just – the AFC is so much better outside of Brady, Rodgers, and – but even the Bucs lost like 3 offensive linemen.
Well, they get Wirfs back.
Yeah, but I mean –
And they're getting Ryan Williams back. They just re-signed Ryan Williams as center.
Jensen.
One of them – they lost Marpet, right?
I don't know.
And then one of the guys,
retired.
$40 million going to the Bengals.
Yeah.
And then
re-signed
Brady
Ryan
had to
Williams.
announce it because Gronk was getting ready to go to the Bengals.
I was like, that's not.
He could have just told him if he really
True.
awake, but yeah.
I don't know. I think there's going to be a wild season. I don't see how the Chargers.
Where's the Colts going to do it? Is that where Garoppolo's going?
They requested to talk to Watson, but the Houston said they wouldn't trade him inside the division. So they
Yeah, that's why you said something about Garoppolo going to Seattle, and like that's 0 chance. They're not going to trade Garoppolo to. I mean, I guess they could. Then they know what he's going to do, and he's not that good.
I don't know. But at this point, he's probably just going to start for San Fran next year.
No, they're not. I don't think he can now. It's like past the point of no return.
There's always a chance of return.
So I'm
Always.
just saying, there's always.
There's always a chance of return. Brady could always end up in New England.
I was hoping we'd get Brady because there was those rumors going around a while. He just
Bruce
retire and
Arians
go to
said
San Francisco.
Bruce Arians said to give him up and take 5 first-rounders.
Yeah.
Did he say that?
Yeah. Even though he's
He
retired.
said he's
45
retired if he
year
just. And he said if Brady wanted to play football, if he wanted to play anywhere, it'd cost 5 first-rounders.
I feel like
that?
it's still worth it.
Yeah,
All right. That's
I had
it.
Pat crying on the phone the other day talking about teams trading 5 first-rounders.
Yeah.
Because they hadn't released what Wilson was traded for yet. So I'm like, dude, it's got to be at least 4 first-rounders somewhere
I
in
would
there.
trade him.
Every time, right?
Brady will
And I
play.
go-
calls me at 9 a.m.
I go, dude, this
The
is
first
wild.
thing he says.
I go,
First, I answer the
I go,
phone. He said Seattle's next quarterback is in 5th grade.
right now.
Or Denver. Or something. I was like, what are you
Denver's
talking
next
about?
first-round pick is currently an 8th grader right now.
I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't know that happened.
It was outstanding.
Yeah, that's it for this week.
Imagine.
Next week, okay, take notes while you're watching the games, though, because we're going to have players that we fall in love with over
you
the
hear
weekend,
this
like
guy
Max
sniffing?
Abmas.
Do you hear this,
Ryan
man?
Davis.
Do you
Make-
hear this guy
no,
say,
make
take
note.
notes while we're mid-March Madness watching games.
But you'll know Max
remember
Abmas.
any
Not a single. We will not be able to read or understand any.
Don't
of it when you get
write
home.
them down, dickweed.
Oh yeah, 3
Mental
sheets to the
notes.
wind. I got the best handwriting ever.
Do you remember Max Abmas?
Yes,
Which doesn't make sense because it's Max Abmas. There's no S in the
whatever
beginning of
his name is.
Oral Roberts.
It's like Cockburn.
Yeah, it's they
Nobody's
call
allowed
him
to say
Coburn, but you're not allowed to say
Allowed to say
Cockburn.
Cockburn.
It clearly says Cockburn.
On his jersey, yes.
Why is it Coburn?
I have no.
They
idea.
just-
I've been trying to.
Maybe
figure
it's a
that out.
silent C. Okay.
We need it. I need to ask.
He'll
We need to
he'll
figure
beat
that
up
out.
anyone who says Cockburn. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
6'8",
maybe
320.
he changed it.
Oh no, I don't understand that. Max
Yeah, there will
Abmas
be.
and
I love
Kofi
the
Coburn.
March Madness heroes that emerge.
Yeah, Jack. What's the dude's name on Colgate? Jack.
Where's Corey? What team's Corey
Keegan
Lucius on?
Records?
No, Jack, the shooter.
What team is Corey Lucius on, Pat?
Oh man,
Don't you bring that up?
He's still in the
Still
NCAA
haunts
somehow.
me. Michigan State.
him and Perry Ellis are
knocked- ended
starting.
Perry,
They
Perry
ended Maryland's
Ellis.
season again this year.
Perry Ellis transferred somewhere.
Perry Ellis.
He's on his
guy was in
11th
the-
college year.
Peter Kiss is 25. I think he's been there 6 years.
Yeah, no, next year. Yeah, they're saying he's trying to come back for his
Well,
seventh
he gets
year.
an
I'm like,
extra
how?
year. He gets an extra year because of COVID.
No, he's 7
He
years.
probably has 2 red shirts or a medical red shirt.
David's been talking about him for he met him right or something like that.
Who?
Art. When you
Met
guys
who?
were at Hoop Fest, Tommy Kuzi, you guys watched him. He loves Tommy Kuzi.
Oh yeah.
But that dude has been there I've heard about that guy I thought it was like a fictional coach that coaches
Tommy-
overseas.
oh yeah.
How's he
Hope he
still
has
there?
an NIL deal because he's not playing in the NBA.
Jack Ferguson, that's going to be your
Jack
hero.
Ferguson.
Oh,
Isn't that the cat's name on New Girl?
what show do you watch?
know.
You never watched that show?
No,
I've seen.
Go
it.
watch
I
it.
don't know
That
about
shit's
the
so
cat.
great.
is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
Oh no, the cat's name's Ferguson. That's right.
Jack Ferguson.
Yeah, I don't know Jack Ferguson. No, Kuzi's been there for how? No, I'm serious. How long has that dude been there? Where's this team?
On St. Mary's?
Yes.
I don't remember him.
I don't even. Yeah, I don't.
Hold on. I'm finding St. Mary's right now. I swear this guy's 30 years old. It's not even letting me bring it up. Roster. He's 24. Yeah, he's been there since 2016. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. This is his 6th season.
He's coming back,
and
next
he's played games in every single season.
Yeah, but if you only play so many, you can only play so many, and then
okay. So 2016, he played 3 games. So obviously he must have got hurt or something. Maybe
red shirt. You can red shirt after that.
Then he played 25, 34, 33, 24, and 32. That's 5 years.
How does he have any eligibility left?
I don't know. What's the transfer?
Dude,
can
that's
you transfer?
You can graduate transfer and play a 5th year somewhere else. So if the school you're at doesn't have
a red shirt, there's
program.
graduate transfers, and then
there's a COVID year
too.
So you get an extra year. So is he going to have another year?
Well, yeah, but see, even if you get the extra COVID year, you didn't play that season. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
They played the whole season.
Oh, that's right. They just didn't play the tournament.
Yeah.
Peter Kiss was playing in the 2015-2016 season.
How old is that guy?
He has to be 25.
That's 7 years ago.
Yeah.
He's got to be
He was
almost
logging
26
minutes.
years old.
Played 31 games.
I feel like we went to high school with this kid.
Now he's leading the nation in scoring. Yeah, you better be. You're 30 playing against. Well,
7 years ago, he was averaging 14 a game.
Peter Kiss.
No
wonder he's doing
how's he
push-ups.
never been drafted?
I don't know.
He gets better every year, and every year the GMs just tell him, "Not you weren't good enough."
I mean, he's playing at Bryant. He's probably just shoot. How many times do you shoot a game? He just casts. I think I'm gonna watch this game tonight just for fun.
Does he play tonight? Or are you gonna go back and watch?
I might just turn it
Right.
on
That's
now.
Wednesday, right? The Wright State game. Wednesday night.
Wednesday at 3:40.
Right? Nice.
He's older than
He's
older
older
than
catch like the second half.
dude. That fool's older
We'll be
than
done golf by
Jokic
then.
right now. He's older
What?
than Jokic, and Jokic already has an MVP and 3 All-Star appearances.
All right.
He's dude. He's gonna. I know what he's gonna do. He's gonna go to the Big 3.
You have to know you can
Peter
only play in
Kiss?
the Big 3 if you're you have to have played in the NBA.
Really?
Yeah,
he'll
it's
make
only ex-players.
He'll make it.
Well, he needs to get a hold of a GM, be like, draft me, then cut me, so I can play in the Big 3. All right, that's it for real this time. Next week we'll do a quick recap of the chaos that ensues this weekend. We'll preview the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 games and tell you the players we love, like literally fall in love with this weekend. All right, see you next weekend.
Later.